My older brother Jamie died 7 months ago. He was 20. Before he died, he wrote a letter for me and another for our dad. His letter to me was him apologizing for leaving, saying he loved me, he wanted me to have a good life and things like that. Dad's letter was different. Jamie told Dad we always knew he cheated on our mom, that he was disgusted to be his son, that he didn't tell him he was sick because he didn't want Dad to fake grieve him like he did our mom, he didn't want Dad's tears or anguish, that he felt like Dad not getting the chance to say goodbye was justice for his affair child, and for the hell he put the two of us through when we were so young and losing our mom. I only know the content of Dad's letter because he told me about it and wanted to know if I felt similar in any way, and I told him I did. My dad had other kids with his wife, the affair partner, or one of them. My half-sisters are 11 and 10, and my half-brother is 8. I'm 17 because I know I didn't mention that. And the timeline was Mom was sick for like a year. She died when I was 5 and my brother was 8. Dad was a dad again only 6 months after she died, and his wife was living with us before that point. Dad never explained it to us. He relied on us being young, and boys, and not knowing enough about pregnancy to realize. My brother always kept his distance from our half-siblings, and he wanted no part of being their brother. I feel similarly, but I'll try to be nice because we live in the same house. But now that Jamie's gone, I feel like I lost my only sibling, and I don't love or care about my half-siblings or think of them as real siblings. Which might be why I'm resisting here, but anyway. Dad knows I have a letter from Jamie. But Jamie didn't write anything to our half-siblings. So Dad wants to make a copy of the letter and make it look like it's to all of us, so edit it. He said ever since the girls found out I got one, they've been upset and they grieve for Jamie too, and they don't deserve the weight of being unloved by their brother and knowing they'll never get to have a kind message from Jamie. He said Jamie never said I love you to them or hugged them or gave them any of his heart. And it's not their fault. But some of the pain can be eased if they think he thought of them. He said we'll just say I was being possessive of the letter and it was never just mine. I didn't agree to share the letter and I told Dad I don't want him to edit it. He got really mad at me and asked me how I can have such a small age gap between me and my half-sister, how I could live with them for 11 years and not want to save them from this. He asked me if I had become such a monster. Comment 1, NTA. It's yours. Lying like your dad suggests will always be found out. Keep your letter safe. Your dad will probably take it. Comment 2. It's understandable that you want to keep your brother's letter intact, as it reflects his true feelings. Your father's wish to ease his other children's pain is also understandable, but altering the letter might not be fair to your brother's memory. Your decision to not let your father edit the letter is valid and reflects respect for your brother's wishes. You're not in the wrong for wanting to preserve the letter as it is. Yesterday, we had a big family gathering, which meant my older sister, 29, and her daughter, 6, came over. For half of the day, everything was well and good. After lunch, my sister got tired, so I, 27F, volunteered to look after my niece when my sister took a nap. Now, I have a collection of stuffed animals and 20 centimeters, 7.8 inches for those in America, dolls, which I let my niece play with when her mother napped. Then my sister woke up, joined us, and we spent some more time together before she announced it was time for them to leave. This was when my niece pointed at the doll I was holding and said she liked him, and that she wanted me to give him to her. I told her that she could get any other doll and/or stuffed animals that she wanted from my collection, just not this one. My niece got really upset and started crying, saying that her birthday was coming, it's next week, and she wanted that doll as her birthday present. Again, I told her I couldn't give him to her, explaining to her he was very important to me. I didn't tell my niece in detail about why he is important to me, because she's still too young to understand, but I will explain it here to give a clearer picture. I've had this doll for a long while now, back in the darkest time of my life, when nothing seemed to go right for me. I was advised to find an outlet, letting out my thoughts either in the form of writing or drawing. One of my drawings was the design for the doll in this post. I spent a lot of time with it, shading it, coloring it and all that. Then I got the idea of turning the drawing into something physical. I searched, and eventually found someone I trusted that could help me with this. For months, we worked together, choosing the materials, fabrics and threads to make my doll's body, hair and eyes. A lot of money was spent. But the process helped my mind be in a better place, and the result was so worth it. I was so happy the day I had him in my hands, and since then, he has been my emotional support doll. I don't know if it's strange, but whenever I look at him, I just feel like I can overcome everything. So yes, he's very important to me. My sister told me maybe it was time for me to let go of him. Again, I told them I could give my niece any other dolls and stuffed animals she wanted, just not this one. My niece cried harder, and started screaming. My sister told me I was being an overgrown child, that I needed to act my age and stop clinging to a toy. It ended with her leaving with my still crying niece, telling me that I needed to prioritize my family over a doll. Comment 1. Hide your doll. Do not leave it unprotected in your house, or there's a good chance it will disappear for good. In fact, since you're staying with your parents, I would just put a lock on your door, and don't give anyone a key. Comment 2. NTA. Your niece needs to be taught that she can't have everything she wants, or she's going to grow into an absolute monster. Sounds like your sister already has her on that path. She needs to be taught that other people's needs and wants have to be considered, too. She wants the doll because she likes it, but she doesn't have any kind of deep connection to the doll. You need it because it is a comfort item you rely on. Needs trump wants.